Carl and Tony from the fields of Nephilim. I finally got to pronounce it right. I've been saying it wrong for years. Talking about pronunciations, we'll go on to the album, the brand new album, which is called Elizium, if that's the correct pronunciation.
Yeah.
Okay, which is the new album. Now, I've read that you personally have described it as the band's most depressing record to date. Is this correct?
I suppose, to be honest, I had a pretty depressing year last year, you know, and it's, and like, you know, that was a lot of the inspiration behind the music, but, you know, on playback, playing the record back, it kind of,
it isn't really that depressing.
No, not really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's listen.
I think I was just depressed when I said that in the press, you know, that's all.
Which can happen, yeah.
A bad day.
Yeah, it's a bad day.
One quote which goes on forever.
Yeah.
To be quoted back at you like, I've just did.
It always happens,
It's a
though,
jolly
doesn't it?
record,
You know?
it's a very jolly album.
Well, it's
Big jolly up.
I've only had, I personally got a copy of it last night, and I think you've also said it's very sort of dark and light, but there is a lot of, I mean, it's almost like overture kind of stuff. I mean, it's big passages rather than
Well, we like,
particularly 3-minute songs anyway.
yeah, I mean, that's something that we've always, it's how music always turns out like that, you know. We don't go away and try and construct like short pop songs as such, you know.
I think a lot of it actually comes from, for want of a better word, you know, in a rehearsal studio jamming, right?
Yeah.
And then, in the past, I think we tried to sort of cut them into songs a bit more. I think we just left them a bit more as they were from the original kind of ideas.
Yeah, some of the initial spark from some of the spontaneity of, like, you know, our live jams, you know, as such, when we're in our rehearsal studios, seem to, you know...
Is what you've kept.
Yeah. I mean, that's not always the case. We've got no formula or anything like that for writing. We don't like to do that, you know, because we're always trying to, like I say, explore new ground. But we do like these long pieces of music, you know, so they go on indefinitely.
All right, well, we'll talk about that a bit further. First up, we've got, who was it in the band who chose this? Is it Bad Brains? Is this your choice?
Well, both of us like Bad Brains, don't we, really?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Quite unique.
Psychonaut there, which in fact has probably been your biggest chart success to date, hasn't it?
No, I don't think so, actually.
No? Oh, well, I stand corrected. But I mean...
Moonchild just sort of pipped it at a post a bit. There's a few places higher, wasn't it, Moonchild?
Yeah, I mean, wasn't a lot in it, you know, so...
But that's the thing, really. We were talking about before, again, with the new LP, and you're saying that really you have gone for more, and this time taking what you've created in the sense of a song structure, however long it takes you, or whatever the feel is, and sticking with that.
Yeah.
And then you do have this, I mean, the reality of the world we live in, particularly if people expect to sell records to the pop charts, is you have to make 3-minute songs. Is that pretty hard for you?
Yeah, really hard, you know, because it's not what we set out to achieve in the first place, really.
Yeah.
But, you know, after being involved in this business for a few years now, it'd be nice to be able to, you know, present our music in that kind of format as well.
Yeah.
You know, just to prove to ourselves that it's possible to do it, so I'm not going to be a stick in the mud and just say, no, we're only going to write long pieces of music, you know.
Well, I know, for instance, you're off this evening to go back into the studio because you're working on the second single, which is, in fact, is another, it's a not a reworking, but a complete re-recording of one of the other tracks.
It's a completely different performance. Lyrically, it's quite different as well. One of the songs which could have ended up as a half-hour piece of music, you know, because there was lots of different ideas and there was a lot of inspiration, you know, because of the subject matter of the song itself. So therefore, what we did like two completely different versions.
Is that the way you prefer to do it, rather than go through the norm at the moment of the remix situation, which everybody keeps to go for?
Yeah, I mean, I think sort of doing loads and loads of remixes of some of our music would be a bit difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, we obviously do have to try and get a 12-inch mix and a 7-inch mix, you know.
Yeah.
But it's as far as it goes, really. I mean, we wouldn't get anyone else in to sort of...
Well, we haven't
do
done
one of these
today, anyway, have we?
No, not one of these kind of big disco mixes. You know.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting situation. I mean, in the year that you have taken off to record and do other things, there has been the whole emergence of a whole new scene, hasn't there, which has come through?
Certainly has, yeah.
I mean, do you feel threatened by that in any way, or bothered by it, or...?
Not really, no. I mean, I'm not a person who takes a lot of notice of the scene anyway, you know.
Yeah.
So it doesn't bother us, I don't think, in any way, really.
I mean, in a lot of ways, it probably help us, because we were just the alternative to that scene. I mean, it was the alternative to the scene that was before that, you know, the kind of jangly pop sort of indie stuff. So we've always been there in the sidelines, and things come and go, and we're usually just still hanging around
in your
there.
own path.
You know, it's fine by us.
Which is cool. Well, listen, we have to thank you for coming in, because I know you're busy and doing it.
Yeah.
And the album should be out in September. Is that still going to happen? Elizium, sorry. Maybe September?
Hopefully September.
All right.
If it is September, it'll be the latter part.
And any tour dates for Europe? Is that going to happen? Do you reckon? Likely?
We're going to be doing some gigs actually in Germany with New Model Army in, I would say, October.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think it's October.
Well, in fact, we're playing New Model Army later on, so we'll mention that later. And, David Lee Roth is what we're going to finish on. And that reminds me, David Lee Roth, Take Two tomorrow will not be here, because David Lee Roth will be for half an hour. It's Heavy Metal Weekend. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot.
Here's David Lee Roth.